reparations.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Teej pack. Teej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Teej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Teej Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teej pack. Feel the Teej, my friends.
What's going on? Is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Let me know that y'all can hear me. I'm using a completely different setup than what we would normally use on the Millionaire Morning Show, simply because this is the pull-up show, right? And when I say this is the pull-up show, this is the show where we'll have an opportunity for you guys to be able to join a live stream. So I learned my lesson. All right. Is there an echo? Let me see if it's an echo. Somebody said that it's an echo. Shouldn't be an echo. Should not be an echo. Is the mic too loud? Is it adjusted now? Let's see if we can adjust the mic. Is the mic adjusted now? I'm blowing y'all eardrums. Jesus. I hate this new stuff. It's okay now? It's cool now? Yeah. All right. We adjusted. We good. All right. Cool. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Welcome to another edition of the Millionaire Morning Show. It is Friday, May 19th, 2023, year of our Lord. I'm using this new setup today. Specifically, I'm using StreamYard because it's the pull-up show. Now, I learned my lesson from last week in that last week, a lot of people had a lot of audio issues for whatever reason. The software that I use, and I'm actually going to be breaking down exactly how I utilize certain software in order to produce a phenomenal show and when I use certain software or whatever. So that's one of the videos that I'm going to be dropping inside of the Patreon to allow you guys to be able to produce phenomenal live streams without having a whole or needing a whole production team, right? So that's one of the things that I am going to share with you guys in a Patreon. But another thing I'm going to share with you guys inside of the Patreon is an exclusive video deep diving into the money. You know, I always got to add as much value as possible. I can teach y'all the production. I can show y'all the receipts. But I also have to give y'all the game on how it is that you can get to the money. So if you're not a part of the Patreon, link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat for y'all, for you guys to be able to do that. All right. So that's I don't like using StreamYard. I'm gonna be absolutely honest with y'all. And it's not that it's not a good piece of software, right? I think that StreamYard is cool when you first getting started. And it has its uses. Like right now, it's a backup piece of software that I always keep on handy, especially for people to be able to use for Fight Club and Steam, stuff like that. But I'm always looking to grow, so I very rarely ever use StreamYard. I only use StreamYard when I have other people dial into the channel to be able to live stream their own, live stream or whatever, so on and so forth, Monday nights, whatever. And then I use it as a backup for when I'm having problems with the other software that I use in order to produce the show that y'all normally will see on Millionaire Morning Show. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Again, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, make sure you hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate you guys for doing that. I will be acknowledging all of the super chats throughout the show. Shout out to the Cash Apps. I'm going to get to y'all shortly because y'all been holding me down also. 2 shows. We've added a second show for the Charleston White Show that's going to be here on June 9th here in Detroit at the Garden Theater. It is going to be awesome. We got 3 different comedians, and then we got Charleston, but we got 2 shows. So if you are not a part of that and you have not tapped in, that link is in the description for you to be able to get your tickets. 2 shows, all right? So make sure that y'all tap in. I'm going to give y'all some more information on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you do so, but make sure you tap in if you're trying to come and kick it with me, Charleston, and other comedians and who's who here in Detroit in order to be able to have a phenomenal time at the Garden Theater on June 9th. It is going to be popping. I promise you it is going to be a hoot and a hollering of a time. I just talked to my dog Charleston yesterday. He said he going to show out, and so it's going to be absolutely positively awesome for you guys to be able to tap into. All right. Let me also acknowledge the Cash Apps before we get started. I want to acknowledge the people that supported the play. Y'all be sending me Cash Apps before we even get into the show. Mike That Dude is always on deck, so I appreciate you, Mike That Dude, for the salute. Black Heart Green Paper hit me with 2 of them. And he wanted me to break down some stuff that had to do with Sneeko. So shout out to Blackheart Green Paper. Dylan says for slimming down. Shout out to Dylan for holding me down with the 10 ball. And everybody that continues to support the platform through Cash App, Patreon, whatever it is that you do to support. I don't ask for it, but you guys add value into me. So I try to give you as much value as possible. So we're going to have a whole show today, not a half a show, a whole show. And I'm going to allow for you guys to be able to cam up and call in, which is one of the reasons why I'm using StreamYard today. All right. So I downgraded so that we can upgrade. And then we can have that conversation. Let me read some of y'all super chats and then we're going to get started with the show. Oh, not that one. Cliff says, Anton, will the show be recorded and when can we watch? I might have to give an exclusive out for the Patreon members. I might have to give an exclusive out to the Patreon members. Also, shout out to my dog, Mike Jones. I appreciate you, Mike Jones, for holding me down. Let me see. I get to you, Mike Jones, last. Chris J is in the building. Shout out to Chris J. I appreciate you for holding me down, big dog. Alvin S says, good morning, OGAD Wednesday nights. Her love language is trains, planes, and automobiles. Shout out to everybody that tuned in Wednesday night. Mike Jones is in the building, says, good morning, Anton. Thank you for everything. Last week was really tough for me, but your video on the guy living out of his van had me dying laughing. Thanks, fam. Sometimes we got to laugh. Sometimes we know what we need, but then at the same time, we need a little bit of entertainment to keep us distracted and keep us focused along our way. So nobody promised to everybody that the journey would be easy, but the thing that we have said that you have to have endurance. The race isn't given to the swift, it's to he who endures to the end. So we know what we got to do, and we need to keep ourselves motivated in order to do it, right? And then we need that little bit of entertainment and tough love along the way. So shout out to everybody, including my dog Mike Jones with the 50 ball, holding me down, adding value into my life. And again, hopefully I'm adding just as much value into your life as possible. Also, I have 2 videos dropping this weekend on Patreon. Actually, I got 2 updates dropping this weekend on Patreon. So if you are not a part of the Bag Chasers, if you're not a part of the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat for y'all to be able to do so. I appreciate y'all. Y'all want to get into the show? I think we should get into the show. So before we get into Adidas, Ford Motor Company, Pat McAfee, going independent, the whole thing, right? I was having conversations with Rita this morning, right? As a matter of fact, I'll call her because you know y'all like to get the receipts. I like to share the receipts. Shout out to everybody that watched the show last night.
Hello.
Hey, you busy?
Yeah, kind of. I'm at the town office.
You at the town office? You filing for the permits?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. That's cool. That's all I wanted to know.
No, it's oh, that's it.
Yeah, I'm on a live stream.
Oh, okay.
All right.
All
Thanks.
right. Bye.
Bye. That is the receipt itself. That's literally the receipt that I was going to show you guys. Rita, my wife, is at the town office because if you guys have been following me on Instagram and if you guys are a part of the Patreon, you know I'm documenting the process for my first property that I'm building from the ground up. And one of the things that we've had to do is call out landscapers. I just paid close to $15,000 in order to have trees mowed down, cut down, all of this other type of stuff. We got to file for permits. We got the surveyor coming out, all of that stuff. So I'm literally doing it cash out of my own money, and I'm gonna be giving y'all the receipts. I'm documenting the process. So all of that eventually is going to be available for Patreon members and bag chasers only. All right. But that's not the point that I wanted to emphasize to you guys. What I wanted to emphasize to you guys is I called or I have conversations with Rita and my daughter, and we literally have family meetings. It's just me and my little family. It's just me and my two little girls, right? And we have family meetings and we discuss everything business related. Let me bring that back for you. We discuss everything business related, probably about 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how busy we are. We discuss each other's schedules. We go over them. My daughter's schedule is very much a reflection of how it is that I do my schedule. It's color coded. It's how it is that I teach y'all inside of the Patreon is the same thing that I teach my family, right? We go over what it is that we need to schedule for business, depending on what day of the week it is. We discuss our new travel schedules or updates that have to go on, the whole 9 yards. And one of the things that I discuss with my daughter on a regular basis is my expectations for her, right? And so right now, my daughter and my wife are literally the ones that are doing all of the legwork with regard to building this house, right? If you guys have ever emailed me, anybody that's ever emailed me, you may know or you may not know that Rita is usually the first person to catch it. So if you've got a reply, often at times she may ask me what it is that I need to say, or she may forward it to me in order to respond to it. But she's the first line of defense. She's the person that kind of oversees everything from the business perspective. So she don't have to be at the front. She don't have to be visible. She don't have to be the person that's always having a conversation. She's not over here giving the game. But at the same time, I teach her, and then she's the person that kind of oversees, and then she oversees an additional assistant that I may have, right? That takes over other parts of what it is that we do. So we operate incredibly lean, but at the same time, we are very much integrated as a family. I have spreadsheets. I have backup drives. I have hard drives where all of the passwords are and all of the things that we need in order for things to continue to be successful, right? So, for example, if anything was to ever happen to me, she knows exactly what it is to do from a life insurance perspective. She knows how to move when it comes to, taking care of business. She knows where all of the money is. She knows every single thing, right? And again, even when I'm talking to my daughter, I'm showing her, and I told her, I said, it's an expectation on where you're going to go to college, how you're going to take care of business. And my daughter is literally a student. So I'm having her follow and shadow me and her mother as far as helping her to understand how it is that we're building these properties. Because at 15 years old, my expectation for her, and she loves it. She loves it. My expectation for my daughter is she's going to build the next house. She's shadowing, she's asking questions.
And before we get to watch the game at night, the playoff games and all of that, my expectation is for her to build the next house and then for her to duplicate the process. I'm not going to oversee this. I'm not going to run this. I'm literally teaching her, and I'm forcing her, and I'm showing her and helping her to focus on how it is that she needs to move from a business perspective. And then her mother works with her on the other side of as far as showing her how to be a lady, how to do dishes, how to clean properly, how to clean herself properly, the whole 9 yards, right? So what am I telling you guys? What am I trying to convey to you right now before we really get into the show? If you believe that women are not supposed to work, then you a fool. If you going into a relationship believing that women have never been required to work, and just because they're a stay-at-home mom or whatever like that, that they don't have any responsibilities, you a simp. Women have always worked. It's just the type of work and the place that they stand in, as far as not being under the covering of a man, has changed in 2023, which now requires them to have this boss bitch label, right? Women have always worked, but the idea is that you're supposed to be a helpmeet, not a boss bitch, and it's a difference. So I got two different messages for you guys today. The first message is, don't be a sucker. Don't be a simp, right? Don't put yourself in a position to have your girl stay at home, drink wine, don't have any responsibilities, and just lean off of you so that you can then become some kind of fool. You're not a fool, right? Even if you look at the chessboard, the queen on the chessboard is the one that moves the furthest, and often at times is at the forefront of the battle. And so you have to put them to work. The second thing that I'm trying to tell you is that women are there to be used. They want to be used. They need to be utilized. They have too much in them that we are not tapping into, and we're using them the wrong way. Even the women that work for you, let's take it away from the household, right? Even the women that work for you, if you can actually show them that you're not trying to fuck them every 5 minutes, and that they can start feeling confident about being around you, they'll do anything for you. They will they will be your biggest advocates. They will be some of the people that do some of the hardest work. They will take care of business. Rita is the one that's down at the permit office filing a permit. She filled out the permit. She's filing a permit. She's working with the general contractor. I'm not sitting there. The general contractor, the architect, the builders, the landscaping company and all of that, they fill me in, but they got to go through her in order to get to me. Every once in a while, I'll drive by and I'll step outside the door and they'll be looking at me, and the neighbors is looking like, a guy came up to me 2 days ago, one of the neighbors, and he thought that I was the general contractor because it was the black man and it was the white man, right? I'm the black man and it was the white man, and we both talking, and he thought that the white guy was the owner when the white guy was the guy that was the general contractor. But let me tell you how I move. And this is just a little gem for some of y'all, because a lot of y'all feel like it's a need for you to show yourself to be the owner. If y'all haven't watched the movie The Banker, you really need to go and watch that movie. You know, I like to reference a lot of pop culture references and movies and stuff like that, because I look for different things when I hear and I see things than the regular than the general public. When we out there, because it's an older white man, he's probably about, my general contractor, he's got to be he's in his upper 60s. Shout out to my general contractor, right? And so what I realize is that them believing that he's the boss and that he's the owner allows for me to be just as much, if not more effective than if they'd think that I'm the, I don't have the pride to where I got to show you that I'm the owner and anything like that. I tell my general contractor, and he was about to say something. I said, hey, and then he stopped. And so I'm talking like I'm the general contractor. Oh, okay. Yeah. They think I'm the help, right? And so when we started talking, he said, why'd you stop me? I said,
why wouldn't we allow for them to think that you the person that's in charge? And he was like, I get it. I get it. And I've been working with this guy for a long time. I don't need for them to know who I am. I'm already visible enough on social media. They don't need to know my business. They don't need to know who the owner is. They don't need to know who the person that's writing the checks, that's signing the checks and wiring the money. They don't need to know none of that. I want them to work with him. I want them to contact him. They may even respect him more because he's a white-haired white man, architect. He's walking around with blue jeans on and a tucked in button-up shirt. They don't need to know that. The only time I'm gonna drive by in my Benz or in my Porsche is during the after hours, and I don't even get out the car. When I pull up, usually I'm pulling up in a Hyundai. Hey, how's everything going on? I'm talking to they don't know who in charge. All they know, they think he in charge. They don't know who the boss is. Or I'm sorry, they think that he's the boss and I'm just his underling and I'm the person that's, I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely 100% cool with that. And so in real life and in business, y'all got to learn to remove how you feel out of the situation, because it's not about projecting yourself to be powerful. It's about actually wielding power in order to ensure that you get things done more effectively. So many people are so focused on trying to prove to somebody else that they something that they not. I'm not trying to do that. I'm chilling. I'm coming out there. I'm very low key. They don't know who I am. I take these glasses off. I put on my regular all black frames or whatever like that. I'm chilling. They talking to me like I'm nothing. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. I get it. What we sitting here trying to do? Put your chick to work, put your people to work, move a little bit more different when you in person and operating in your purpose, and stop trying to always be visible and always be the person that's in front of my goal is to really remove myself from the visibility in order to not be the person that's in front of the camera. I don't even want to be in front of the camera. I'm in front of the camera because I feel like that's what I have to do in order to make sure that we continue to get this thing rocking and I'm setting the foundation. But don't think for 1 second that I need to be at the forefront. Why you think Q running Monday nights? What you think I've been grooming her for? She's a better host than I ever have been. Now, I might pop up in order to give it a pop or whatever like that in order to excite the conversation or to push back when I see too many guys on the panel because they need a little bit of pushback. But I'm not trying to be the person that run it. I'm trying to put people in position of power so that they can be the person that run it. Why you think Q is running Monday nights? What you think the long-term play is? You think that I want to be standing in front of y'all showing y'all receipts for the rest of my life? I just want to give you the game so you can take the football and run with it. I'm not trying to be at the forefront of what you think is important. I just want to be able to run the checkup. Only reason I'm on Instagram is so that I can continue to bring visibility to what it is that we doing. It's an extension of what we doing here on YouTube. I don't even like social media. I don't even like social media. I can't stand my favorite social media app is Twitter because I can just type what I want to type and keep it moving. Because I'm good at it don't mean that I love it. It just means that I lean into it because it's what I got to do in order to ensure that we're successful. All right. So that's just a little tip for y'all to get started throughout the day. Let me go ahead and read a couple more super chats. Shout out to the Service USA. It says keep the likes up. Y'all got the likes up yet? Y'all got the likes up yet? Shout out to Dalen Robinson with the Fireball says, I went to Target yesterday and that rainbow section borderline disgusted me. This social justice, woke corporation stuff needs to stop. We're going to get into that. Let's get into it. Shout out to y'all. I am going to be dropping the link inside of the chat today for y'all to be able to come up. This is the reason why I'm on StreamYard today. For y'all to be able to pull up, give me y'all thoughts. If y'all disagree with me on anything that we talked about during the week, if you want to comment on what it is that you see, if you just want to get some stuff off your chest, you will be able to do that during this show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, everybody, for the super chats, the cash apps. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get into the show. So the first thing that I want to talk about is, let's just go ahead and deep dive into it. Do I have to really say anything? Do I have to say anything? This is Adidas's. Oh. This is Adidas website. Okay. So if we go through, they have now replaced the women with the men on the site. This is the Pride swimsuit. Okay. This is the Pride. Nope. I'm not turning it off. And the reason that I'm not turning it off is because we need to have a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. We need to have a conversation. Let me stop mirroring my camera and let me change it to that. We need to have a conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Adidas has now replaced, this is their website right now live. You can go on there and order 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18 size guides. Apparently, Nair comes separately in order to groom that off the chest. Let's blow it up for you. I want you to see what it is that you're dealing with. Can we blow that up? No? So it wasn't enough. No, the visual is the thing that we have to lean into in order to ensure that we really, really hit the. See, if I just tell you and I say, well, Adidas is doing this and so on and so forth, it's not going to hit the same as if I show it to you. Don't turn it off. I want you to see it for yourself. Because the thing that I've learned about people, is out of sight, out of mind. Let me tell you what happened during the drug game, okay? No, you gonna roll out with me on this one. Let me tell you what happened during the drug game. When they was flooding the hood with crack and cocaine in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s, the war on drugs wasn't really a big deal. And you know why the war on drugs wasn't really a big deal? Here, I'll make it a little smaller for y'all. You know why the war on drugs wasn't really a big deal? The war on drugs wasn't really a big deal because it wasn't at your doorstep. People didn't trip about it because it was contained within a certain radius or demographic of people within an urban community. And so what happened was, once it started to spread out and it started to affect what was going on in other communities, aka meth, aka heroin, aka the opioid crisis, then people started to get concerned about it. They started suing the drug companies. They started trying to figure out what was going on, all of that other type of stuff. But as long as you're not seeing it, as long as you can't really, it don't resonate with you, you're not going to really pay attention to what's going on. And that's why you see people often at times say, well, it don't affect me, so why do you care? One of the comments that I see on a regular basis when I scan through and I see comments on the Anton Daniels channel and I see it on the Millionaire Morning Show channel is, Anton, why do you feel compelled to talk about this? It don't affect you. Why don't it affect me? My daughter got to grow up in this environment. You guys have to be subjected to it. I use public restrooms, don't I? I coach guys that are largely affected by what goes on. And I'm not just talking about what's happening with the alphabet people. I'm talking about what's happening in society as a whole. I pay my taxes, don't I? I fly, don't I? I use the infrastructure, don't I? I have to be subjected to the laws, and then I got to contact my tax strategist in order to make a different adjustment so that we can ensure that we continue to run a bag. We're all affected. We're all interconnected. That's the beautiful thing about humans, is that what you do, even though it may not impact me as much as it impacts him over there, because I have the resources in order to remove myself from the situation, we're all interconnected. So we're all in one way, shape, or form going to be impacted by the decisions that happen by everybody else. So you can't sit here and tell me that what I can and can't talk about, because I live in this world the same way that you live in the world. And so when I see this happen, because this is more than just getting to the money, this is our moral compass. This is ethics. This is code. See, it's no longer why are you concerned with what it is that I do in my bedroom? It's I'm going to throw it in your face because I'm going to push in a narrative and an agenda. See, when my daughter goes to college, I have to be very careful. I have to be very, very careful about where it is that I'm sending her and how it is that I'm creating an environment for her, because colleges have largely become indoctrination camps. That's a fact. Colleges have now become indoctrination camps. I'll show you just how far it's going, right? I'm never probably going to ever buy another pair of Adidas in my life. I'm never going to probably buy another pair of Nikes in my life, because I now have enough sneakers probably to last me the rest of my life. I literally have hundreds of sneakers. I don't even really want, let me show you what I wear. This is my latest pair that I bought. These were actually designed by a former Yeezy designer once they obviously got away from Adidas. And so these is what I wear. I got a white pair and I got the lime green pair, right? My daughter, Leslie, and my wife got pairs, but these are largely made by the same designer that made the foam runners. He wound up having to be a black guy, and this is what I wear. This is what I rock. Like, I largely, anything that I buy at this point is not Nike, it's not Adidas. I buy old school stuff and stuff like that. I have enough sneakers to literally last me for the rest of my life. I have enough sneakers to last me for the rest of my life. I literally have hundreds of sneakers. So I'll be wearing whatever it is that I already have, and I'm probably never going to buy another pair of sneakers ever. They say, Anton, those are ugly. Those are absolutely phenomenal, and they're some of the most comfortable shoes that I've ever worn in my entire life. See, I'm not necessarily worried about drip. I stand on something. I stand on the idea that I'm no longer going to be. See, drip got you supporting Nike and Adidas. It's the reason why you still buying the same things instead of changing the narrative of what it is that you support. This is exactly my point right here. Instead of y'all doing the research so that you can then go with whatever it is that your individual style is, you'd rather go with whatever the popular narrative is, which then allows for them to continue to push this stuff in front of your face. See, when I initially showed you this, y'all said, ooh, Anton, lower it. But now you've already been normalized to accept it, and you're just going to say, well, I just won't go to that part of the, you know. See, trendy locks. Nobody is buying Adidas bathing suits anyway. Yes, they are. And it's not just the Adidas bathing suits. It's the entire company. It's the mindset behind the fact that they can continue to push something out to you when you supporting the company. What you think that they putting this up there just because ain't nobody buying it? Y'all still buy Balenciaga. Y'all still not buy Nikes. You still buy Adidas. Here, I'll do you one better. Let me show you something. I'm going to mute it because the music is about to start playing. I'm going to mute it because the music is about to start playing. Do you know what this commercial is about? Do you know what this commercial is about? This is Ford Motor Company. This is literally Ford Motor Company. You see that? You see what's rolling through? I'm going to pause it right there. I'm going to pause it. You know what the name of the ad is? Do you know what the name of the ad is? See, y'all sitting here. Listen. It ain't just your beers anymore. It's not just the shoes. It's not just the bathing suits. It's literally affecting every single thing that we touch. It's the very bathrooms. It's the institutions that our kids go to. Everything. Here, I'll do you one better. Let me help you. The name of the ad is called Ford's Very Gay Raptor Redefines Tough for a New Generation. Here, let me help you. I know you don't think it's real. I'm going to pull it up for you. Check it out. I'm going to share this with you. It's got over 1,000 likes. That's the name of the ad. It's not even subtle marketing anymore. They're literally throwing it in your face. They're not even hiding it no more. They're throwing it in your face. They're not even trying to hide it anymore. People is pissed in the comments. You know why? Because they just now finding out about it. Shout out to the Very Gay Raptor. Redefining tough. Redefining tough. Redefining tough is the name of the ad for the Very Gay Raptor. Let me tell you who should be the most concerned. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you who should be the most concerned. And I'm going to be dropping a link in the description today. Oh, yeah. I want y'all to be able to cam up and tell me where I'm off on this. You know who should be the most concerned as a result of what it is that you see happening in society today? Toy winner. You hit it. The women. It's not the men classy beats. It's the women. The women are the ones that's under attack. Y'all don't realize that the women are the ones that's going to suffer the most. Specifically, I'm going to do you one better. The ones that's going to suffer the most is going to be black women. But women in general are the ones that's, listen, they not infiltrating and beating us up in our sports. We already at the top of the food chain. You can't play a sport no more without getting your record broke. You can't use the bathroom without a dude standing next to you whose dick may be hard.
You don't even have a place on the website to wear your swimsuits anymore. They replaced it with men. The biggest barrier to entry for women, especially in the mostly demographic, the most black and urban areas and demographics, the thing that women are saying, listen, they've been saying this for years. It's hard to find a good man. And then what do they say right after that? The good men, the ones that's really good, is already married, or they in prison, or they gay. Even if you had, listen, there's already way more women than men. And the idea is that even if you had every single guy that wasn't in prison and every single guy wasn't gay, you still wouldn't have enough men to go around for all of the women. They say, Anton, did you see what the Dodgers did with their pride game? No, I didn't see it. Let me see. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets. Dodgers pride. Dodgers pride. I'm gonna pull it up. Let me see what's happening out here in these streets. Let's pull it up.
In the spirit of unity, the Los Angeles Dodgers are proud to host the LGBTQ Pride Night, but one of those members not going to be involved. We want to take you out to Dodger Stadium right now with our Fox 11 team. Susan Hirosuna, thank you so much for joining us. Who was maybe uninvited, and what's the reaction from that community?
Well, not even maybe. They were indeed uninvited. So the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, they're a drag performance group that also focuses on community service. Now, they were one of the honorees for Pride Night, June 16th, but the Dodger Association apparently was influenced by some Catholic groups who said that this was a Catholic hate group, or rather an anti-Catholic hate group. The fact that they dress up as nuns. So apparently that was offensive, and the Dodgers decided that it was appropriate to uninvite this group.
For the 6th consecutive year, the Dodgers have partnered with LA Pride.
These are scenes from last year's Pride Party at Dodger Stadium.
Oh, look at all of this zestiness that's happening over at the stadium.
This year, the rainbow colors may not be as vibrant.
The Los Angeles LGBT Center was honored to be a community partner, as we have been in recent years with the Dodgers. And at this point, without the Sisters being celebrated, we won't be there.
The Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence bills itself as an order of queer and trans nuns devoted to community service, ministry, and outreach. The group
Ministry? Oh, man. This is wild. This is absolutely out of control, yo.
went from honorees as community heroes by the Dodgers to sudden zeros. The Dodgers statement reads in part, given the strong feelings of people who have been offended by the Sisters' inclusion in our evening, and in an effort not to distract from the great benefits that we have seen over the years of Pride Night, we are deciding to remove them from this year's group of honorees.
Some special guests joining us here tonight.
The Catholic League and others mounted an email campaign against the honor. On the group's website, Bill Donahue called the Sisters homosexual bigots.
To be influenced by outside extremists and to disinvite the Sisters just feels very harmful, not just to our community, but also to the reputation of the Dodgers.
Joe Holladoner sees this as more evidence the LGBTQ plus community is under attack. Most recently, the anti-drag laws. Is there anything that could save the celebration?
What I want the Dodgers to do is be accountable. Recognize that they have caused harm by disinviting the Sisters, re-extend the invitation, and stand in solidarity with our community now when they need us most.
Do y'all feel like y'all under attack now? Just curious. Do you feel like your civil liberties, do you feel like the thing that you stand on, do you think the things that you were raised to believe, your conservative values, they feel like they're under attack because they're not invited to be honored while they're wearing nun outfits? This is wild. Do you know that the gay community compared themselves to the black community and the atrocities that black people went through during slavery? Do you realize that even for you guys that are blackity black, that's asking for reparations, they can't get it because they so distracted dealing with and highlighting a different community that literally is doing it based off of choice? Is this what y'all want? Is this the world? No, I'm just curious. I'm just absolutely curious. Is this the world that you would like your kids to be raised in? Because it's only going to get worse. Listen, Pandora's box is open. Pandora's box is open. And you're never going to be able to put the genie back into the bottle. And so when you see this type of stuff happening, you've already allowed yourself to be infiltrated by what it is that you see happening right now. And so this is what you get. These are your leaders now. You can't go to a sports game unless it's something sexual or they honoring some other community that ain't got nothing to do with the teams that's out there. You can't go to college. You can't buy a truck. You can't even go and get a swimsuit or order online on the e-commerce site without being bombarded. And don't click down the wrong place and you get your cookies, and it start your cash on your thing. Then you're going to start getting recommended all kind of stuff that you never wanted to see in the first place, simply because you went down a wrong rabbit hole and you clicked on the wrong website. See, I'm cool with doing this right now because the way that my YouTube is set up is that every single piece of my watch history is removed on this particular account, on his YouTube premium account. I'm going to just leave that right there. Let me go ahead and read some of the super chats because I know y'all feeling a certain type of way, but I don't know. Y'all ain't going to do nothing about it. So what difference do it make? Reprobate minds for evil times, Anton, shaking my head. Agreed. Shout out to Q-Bird Rain. It's in the building. I appreciate you for the 2-ball. McThinkin says, oh man, not the taco meat, chest hair, Anton torturing us with the auto replay. Adidas is going to get that Bud Light treatment. Adidas was already going down. Y'all being real funny, Charles, in the chat. Okay, I see you. When you get timed out, don't say nothing. The Service USA says too many cowards are letting their kids, the next generation, fight the future battles we should be fighting today. Cowards. Elam says you have to admit, Tom, men all together are weaker than ever now. Protect the kids at all costs and spare no words. Telling the kids the truth. Insane. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, y'all. Here's the thing. I'm not trying to save everybody. I'm just trying to rock out with my bag chasers. I'm not trying to save everybody. I'm trying to rock out with my bag chasers. I'm Noah, and I just got to get my people on the ark because the flood is coming. I got to get my people some money. I got to get them the game. I got to get them the opportunities. I got to get them whatever it is that they need in order to continue to be successful, and we're going to be on that ark. I'm not trying to save the world. I'm just trying to save my tribe. I'm looking for my people, and I'm rocking out with my people. If y'all are part of the bag chasers, shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Levi Apparel says, come on, Anton. I just tuned in. Wowzers. You shouldn't have been late. JQ74 says, Anton, did you see? Yeah, I just checked it out. Thank you for pushing that too. Women around here being masculine while men is taking their positions. Mr. Jason says, paying my tuition for class. Thank you for all of the content. The last Wednesday night live stream was extreme. A real eye-opener. Oh, every Wednesday going to be crazy. Every Wednesday going to be crazy. Canigula, shout out to Canigula, is in the building. Charles Keys Sr., NAACP boycott Florida because the rainbow rules. And here's the thing. Disney is ready for the war with DeSantis. They said they're not going down without a fight. They said they're ready to go to war. Spacer says, you have an iPhone but prefer Google Calendar. Why? I think that Google Calendar is a better product. I like iPhones. I think that iPhones is a better product, but I think that the actual application of Google Calendar is actually better. So I recommend everybody use Google Calendar. Shout out to all of my people that's in the chat. Hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. I'm about to drop the link in the description very, very shortly, but I want to go over something really quickly before we get to that. All right. For those of you that's not familiar, do you guys know who Pat McAfee is, or Pat McAfee? Do you guys know who Pat McAfee? Pat McAfee, because a lot of us are only familiar with what it is that we see on this side of YouTube because of our algorithm. And I'm going to be reading super chat shortly, y'all. Thank y'all. Pat McAfee has McAfee has an incredibly loyal following. An incredibly loyal following. I mean, one of the very few people that I see on YouTube, when they go live, they could have 10, 20, 30, 40,000 people tuning into a live stream at one time. It's a sports show. And I have to admit that they do some incredibly entertaining things over there. Some incredibly entertaining things over there, right? You got to study the greats. You got to study the people that's doing it absolutely awesome. And I hope y'all ready to cam up because I'm going to drop the link in the description very shortly. But guess what he did? Guess what he did? He sold out. And people are pissed. People are absolutely pissed. Fans, if you just go and read the comments, you see what it is that they're saying. And they thought that he was going to make an announcement and they thought that he was going to stand up. But he went and he sold his rights to his show in order to be on ESPN. And people are absolutely pissed. This is what it is that he had to say.
Announcement was made. A lot of people pumped. A lot of people pumped.
Yeah.
Cap.
A lot of people not pumped.
A lot of people not pumped.
A lot of people not pumped. I just would like to say from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate everybody's passion and appreciation for this program. I would also like a little bit of faith. Huh?
Just a little.
Huh?
Think about it.
Now they're asking for a little bit of faith. The people the people were advocates. They said it out loud. Before he ever made this announcement, they begged him not to go over to the ESPN network. And now he's sitting here asking for a little bit of faith.
Huh? Kind of looking like everything that I've been a part of, pretty much. Like everything.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit different probably than what other people have been a part of. No offense to anybody else, but the way my conversations normally go with people, a little bit different than how they normally go. And that conversation with the powers that be at ESPN right now and at Disney all had this same exact lineup. It's, hey, we are aligned. And I think the reason why I'm so excited for it is because sports media has really been like one particular thing for a very long time. And I know there's people that do different things other than debate, but the debate era certainly became a thing in sports media, and debates naturally lead to division and nitpicking and tearing people down because that is what debates do. So I think a lot of sports media was trying to mimic what Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless created whenever it was morning pizza.
Cold pizza.
There it is. And then
In the morning.
Normally it's cold in the morning.
Well, because you order it at night.
Oh, it makes
Pizza
sense.
place is not normally open in the morning, so the morning cold pizza, and then it became First Take, and it was Stephen A. and Skip, and they were debating, and it was captivating because you're talking about two of the greatest debaters, maybe in the history.
So what he's basically trying to explain to the people, and let me show you what the comments say. Let me show you what the comments say. The best thing about this show is that it wasn't on ESPN or a major network. Even though the show was very polished and well done, there is still very charming, hokey, amateurish heart to the whole operation. That was the engine that made the whole thing work. Truly hope there will be a way for Pat and his boys to back out of this deal and switch back to being independent if ESPN Disney try to change it too much. From the king of new sports media to being muted on every bar in America as the bar patrons look at their phones. Hell of a ride, boys. We watch you guys because you're the only sports media show that actually cares about sports. ESPN focuses on forcing politics into every sports conversation. I believe you guys could have made this bigger on your own. You could have turned to PMS. You could have turned the Pat McAfee show into its own ESPN with new shows and hosts. Criticism doesn't come from who Pat is, but because of what ESPN and Disney is. I think it was Pat who said on one of his shows that it's hard to trust someone as being genuine if they don't swear. That's why y'all love me. The beauty of Pat's show now is that it's totally off the cuff and the language is never a barrier. When he moves to ESPN, if he is limited in his slightest regarding the use of swear words, the show will not be honest and genuine. I hope you guys have an opportunity to read the comments because this is how your true fans feel. The one thing that you don't do, ladies and gentlemen, is you don't alienate your core audience. When I get online, right? And let me tell you what my goal is. My goal is to ultimately make the Millionaire Morning Show one of the greatest things that ever touched your streams. Okay? But let me say this. The most important thing for me is my bag chasers, is my Patreon members. Everybody else got to come in and fit in. Everybody else got to come in and fit in. Let me blow this up really quickly. I'm about to drop the link in the chat for y'all. Everybody else got to come in and fit in. It just is what it is. If you want to rock out with what it is that I'm doing, I'm never going to change the narrative for the majority. I'm going to continue to be what it is that I am for the minority. And the minority is the people that's been rocking with me since day one. The people that's been loyal to me since day one. Those are the people. Those are who I'm always going to feed. Those are the people that I'm going. If I do any pandering, it's going to be to them. If I make any modifications, it's going to be based off of the feedback that they give me. They've trusted me. They've allowed for me to continue to give them the game and lead them. I've never let them down. They've never let me down. And so I'm never going to get away from the thing that made me who I am. It's the people. It's the core supporters. Why would I ever sell out for the you got to come in and fit in. That's what makes us unique. That's what gives us our oomph. That's the thing that allows for me to be able to move and say what I want to say when I want to say it, because I'm not worried about what the general public think. I only care about my bag chasers. I only care about my people. And so why would I ever modify who I am just for the bag? The bag has got to come with it anyway. If you graded what it is that you do, then the people are going to have to recognize it. Listen, make ESPN compete. Maybe you shouldn't want to be a partner. But then the other side of the conversation, and this is one of the reasons why I'm going to drop the link in the chat. Everybody is not necessarily meant to. We had this conversation earlier in the week with the football player, the I Am Athlete, Brandon Marshall. We had this conversation earlier in the week, right? And everybody is not necessarily looking to, and you got to have your camera on. Everybody is not looking to create a product. Everybody is not looking to create a brand. Everybody is not looking to grow with their audience. Some people are looking to just sell it, and they have an exit strategy, and there's nothing wrong with that. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, but you just got to understand that the erosion of trust with the people will then go along with it. I don't want to do business with Disney. Not at the expense of my show, because Disney has shown themselves to be an unworthy supporter of what it is that we do. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to rock out with Adidas. I just seen them just put a man in a woman's bathing suit and show his chest hair. I'm not interested. You know what I'm saying? How much money is enough money before, for you to kind of stay true to who it is that you are? Let me pin this to the top of the chat. Give me a second, y'all. How much money is enough money in order for you to stay true to who you are? How much do you need? Anybody that want to cam up, you're more than welcome to join the live stream. I'm about to pin this to the top of the chat. All right, there we go. How much money do you need? How much money do you need?
Two of the conditions, they had me rated at like.
I think he's making a mistake, honestly. I honestly think that he's making a mistake. Aaron said, Aaron, come on up and ask the question. Come on up and ask the question, Aaron. Anybody that want to ask the question, you are more. Let's have a discussion. We could talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. Let me go ahead and pull my dog Jabba in the building. What's up, Jabba?
What kind of like what are we doing here? This is just like what's the boy's name?
That did the no bucking video or whatever.
Huh?
You talking about the Dilvin guy, the Dilvin McVaney or whatever his name?
No,
Dylan McVaney.
Oh no. The one that did the no bucking with Trina.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what his name is. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
It's the same thing I said before. Who is your target audience? Gay men and older women are not black men's target audience, are not appealing to black straight men.
I agree. And even when you think about Ford Motor Company, I don't understand what they're doing. Their target audience are pickup truck buyers.
And it's not to say that they're, because I want a truck too. So it's not to say that I'm not gonna buy a truck because I see some gay person on there.
I agree.
That's so dumb.
I don't know what they're doing. Listen. The thing that I can't understand is, even if you say your target audience, right? Let's say, okay, look, my target audience is conservative men. I don't understand. You would never run an ad for churchgoers. You know what I'm saying? That want to buy a pickup. You run an ad based off of the capability of the truck itself. Hey, this truck can go through the mud and all of this other types. This stuff that the reason why the F-150, which I know that was a Ranger, the reason why the F-150 is so successful, and I don't know who are they running these marketing campaigns to. The reason why the F-150 is so successful, and it's been literally the showrunner for an extended period of time as to, the number one selling vehicle. The F-Series has been the number one selling vehicle for like 50 years straight, is because they focused on what made trucks great, not got into the political agendas of what's going on in society.
The power, the durability, the emphasis of the truck and how it applies to everyday life. I'm sorry, like, to me, this is it's way out of control. It's way out of control.
I don't understand it.
I don't genuinely
curious. What up, Cliff?
Well going, bro.
Chilling, man. I don't understand what's going on out here in these streets, bro. And anybody is more than welcome to cam up and have a conversation. I genuinely don't understand what it is, because eventually somebody was going to catch wind of it and they was going to bring visibility to it. I would have immediately removed it as soon as I seen what was going on with Bud Light. As soon as I seen what was going on with Bud Light, I would have immediately removed it.
And then what pisses me off even more is that it was a black man. Like, where is the Asian person in the bathing suit? Where is the white? Like, where's the, like, are you?
Man,
I
I don't get it. But I tell you what,
I was strongly considering getting an F-150. Because it's a Detroit, brand, and I was just gonna get a Raptor just because I'm into cars or whatever. And if I was gonna get
the Raptor is hard. Like I wanted one.
Well, now since they forcing me to make a decision, I'ma still go with the Cybertruck. Just because I don't know what the capabilities of it is, I don't even really care. I'm gonna go with the Cybertruck because now I'm getting
tells the truth.
Because now I'm getting in the building, right? Now I'm starting to get into property development and stuff like that. And so my long-term play over the next 5 to 6 years is to literally ramp up the amount of money that I'm dedicating to building properties. That's literally all I want to do is I want to become a property developer, right? And so, now that I'm seeing that I have a need for something like that, I would never ever buy a Ford product ever again based off of what it is that I see and being communicated, bro. I just can't do it.
And then there was another comment I wanted to make about the whole reparations talk. Because I'm in California. Yeah. I'm in Los Angeles.
Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say.
I disagree with your take on it. I've never understood how we were going to pay. I've never understood.
Like, and I know it could be far from what we're talking about right now.
Over.
What?
He touching all the touchy subjects.
You made me feel like I shouldn't have called that. But why though? Why is it a touchy subject? Yo, that's my kid is 4. My kid is 4, dude.
I agree. You're right. That's the problem is we could talk about all type of nigga shit, but these topics you can't talk about it. It's a problem. We feel some type of way. We got to say things like
this one over to Rumble.
Yeah, you might have to. My man is going in.
You're making me feel like I fucked up by calling in, man.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Perception, man. You just unfiltered. You uncut and unfiltered, bro.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is definitely gonna be one of those very, very entertaining ones that you're gonna have on once you start filtering out names.
You got Anton quiet over here. Anton ain't saying nothing right now. He like, okay.
I realized something.
I'm not really gonna weigh in on this one.
Anton signaling Rita right now. Get my lawyer on the line. Get my lawyer. I gotta get my lawyer on.
Hey, your internet about to go out. But what he's expressing is any father, if that happened to y'all son or y'all kid, y'all gonna like blow a head.
Lose your mind.
Especially with all the media attention in terms of what people are saying about people grooming your kids and the teachers in the school letting little boys know that they can be little girls. Then your son come home with nail. Oh no, it's a problem.
Hold on, let me see something.
That's why my daughter in private school.
Bato, give me a peace sign. Give me a peace sign, bro. Bato, give me a peace sign. Give me a peace sign, bro. Let me see.
I'm just trying to figure out why everybody didn't learn.
Bato, what's going on, bro?
Have you guys asked yourself why like, you know how they put that black guy in the bathing suit? Why don't they put like why are they just attacking like the black community? Like, exactly. I mean, as a Mexican, fuck, you getting paid me like not even $1 billion to wear a fucking dress, bro. Put Bad Bunny on that bitch, you know?
Hey, no play. Give me a peace sign. No play. Give me a peace sign. All right, let me see. What's going on, no play?
What's up with it?
I seen you over there drink. I seen you drinking in the back. I ain't know what to expect, bro.
I'm gonna treat myself today.
Oh Jesus!
Hey, it's Friday, man.
It's Friday.
You're not fumbling no bags today. No, y'all know just because it's Friday, that don't mean that y'all supposed to fumble bags, right?
Oh no, man. I've been a bag chaser. I've been a bag chaser of yours for about 2 years now, Anton.
My weekend.
So wait, no play. Wait, what you got up for this weekend?
Man, I'm finna go relax with the women this weekend.
How many women you gonna relax with, bro?
Shit, my wife and my mom. Yeah, I'm finna relax and chill and go hard this weekend. You know what I'm saying? It's almost summertime. I don't know where y'all at, but in Houston, man, everybody moving around right now.
So this how y'all moving in Houston?
Yeah, today Friday.
Shout out to Q. Shout out to Q. Shout out to my Houstonites. How they moving in Houston? What's the word in Houston?
Have a job.
Are you already drunk? No play?
Nah, not drunk. I don't get drunk. Where they do that at? I gotta stay focused, baby.
You
gotta stay focused.
He already feeling lovely. What time?
Yeah,
is it?
buddy.
Hey, this my early morning coffee on a Friday. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't got to work today?
Nuh-uh. Praise the Lord, no.
Nah, not with the Lord.
What? Man, that's the first thing I do before I even touch the floor with my feet.
You praise God and grab a drink, huh?
Amen. Hey, when you got your shit together, when you that man, it hit different.
They do drink at church and serve you liquor at church, right? I mean, a little bit of wine.
Listen.
Hey.
I am very much. Y'all got me
Stop.
questioning
Huh?
who my core audience is right now.
Hey, what you mean? We all come in different flavors, baby.
I'm an engineer,
Y'all got me questioning who my core audience is. I don't even know who my core audience is anymore.
Don't worry about it. Keep doing what you're doing.
Your core audience is variable, man. You got a lot of people that like watching your
from
content,
all
bro.
walks of life.
There you go, man.
Hedging mastermind. Give me a peace sign.
That was good.
All right, let me get you up.
Man, you got engineers and doctors listening to you now, bro.
Engineers, doctors, all kind of crazies.
First of all, engineers. First of all, I'll take that personal. Engineers are not crazy. We just think a lot.
Right. That's what I graduated from college
Y'all
from.
helping me to helping me to remember why I stopped doing panels. I'm so scared right now. I don't know what's gonna be said. I don't know what's gonna be hit. I don't know what to do right now.
Antoine, can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
I see,
Hey,
or I'm
but
not
that
sure.
Pat McAfee guy, I mean,
Hold on. Let me get my dog 187 up again. Give me a peace sign, bro. All right, let me get you up here. Go ahead, Hedging.
Yeah, you were saying. I think you are not in support of the FBAs. By the way, I'm foundational Black Americans.
Okay.
Getting reparations. I'm Nigerian, by the way. I'm just asking question.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want to say. Just don't say anything egregious. You know what I'm saying? Like we got to be a little bit careful for the YouTube algorithm.
Right.
So, are you in support or are you not in support?
Of what? Reparations?
Yeah.
I'm not in support of reparations.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay for it?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. They can find a way to pay for it. They have a
You can't
lot
even
of ways.
find a way to keep the government open right now. The debt ceiling is literally about to explode and the whole country about to go down in flames. How are we gonna pay for reparations and we can't even pay for us to keep the government open?
What is it? 23.6 trillion? That's what they're trying to
it's
cap
more
at?
like I think it's like 31 trillion or something like that.
Oh, okay.
We're already in debt. How are we gonna pay for it? No, it's multiple different reasons why I'm not in support of it. But fundamentally, even from a financial perspective, how are we gonna pay for it?
All they gotta do is just make the money.
Listen, that's true.
It ain't hard.
It don't work like that.
All right, so I see that.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to go from a C student's perspective.
Do
to
you
a D
understand
student's
who has to pay
perspective.
for the reparations?
I'm gonna have to go to a D student's perspective, and that I'm gonna have to explain it a little bit differently. But hold on, let me have this conversation with Hedging. Let me have this conversation with Hedging.
But when Germany went to war, And when other people have situations, they don't really say, oh, where are they going to get the money from? Germany went almost broke paying reparations. Other people go almost broke paying reparations. Why can everyone get reparations? I know I'm not going to get any reparations, but I don't think it should matter. Oh, if they give them the money, they're going to spend it on this, spend it on that. I don't think all that should matter. If everyone is getting it without being questioned on how they're going to spend it, if everyone is getting it without them being questioned of where are they going to get the money from, why is it when it becomes Black people that you start asking questions like, oh, what are they going to spend the money on? Oh, where are they going to get some money on? You know, when it's other people, and you see someone here was literally on here saying that they are giving LGBTQ people money. Where are they getting the money to give them? Why are
I
we
don't
not
agree with
asking
that
those
either.
questions?
Well, the LGBT. Hold on.
Wait. Stop.
So are you
Hold on.
saying
Let him
they
finish.
are more of a priority? Are they more of a priority? Are their requests more of a priority? Is that what they are saying, or is it a way to entice people to join that community? Because if I was an FBA person, if I know they are not going to give me anything for being Black after all the suffering my ancestors went through, then I'll just join the LG whatever Q company. I'll just say I'm queer and I'll get my money. You know.
And that's why they got y'all in
Why
business.
are there always
Let him
excuses?
finish.
Why are there always excuses when it comes to the Black community? And even the Black community also would join them in making excuses. If it were other communities, they would never do that. They would work together. They won't care where they are going to get the money from. They won't. If you even dare ask them how they are going to, get how they are going to spend the money, it's seen as insulting, because they've set a standard for themselves. So I don't see what the issue is. Okay, I'm done.
Can I say something?
Let me respond.
You said it already.
I wanted him to get his whole thought out so that I could respond. Okay. So first and foremost, California is a piece of shit that's going down, and they in debt also, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is I don't agree with the alphabet community getting a check either. As a matter of fact, not only do I not agree with the alphabet community not getting a check, I don't believe in social programs. I don't think that you should rob from people in order to then mismanage the money that you then are issuing out to people that's not actually helping the American people or the American economy or what it is that we're building over here in the first place at all. I don't believe that they should have gave reparations over in Germany. I don't believe that they should have given reparations to Indians. I don't believe that anybody should get reparations because nobody is owed anything. And as a matter of fact, that's what happens when you lose. Losers don't get reparated for what it is that winners did to them. Winners write history. Winners are the determining factor for what it is that you get and what you don't get. I don't believe in reparations in general. I believe that if you want something, then you're going to have to go and take it. And that's how nations get conquered. That's how tribes get conquered. And as a matter of fact, not only that, I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate against people running in the Victim Olympics. I don't believe that any student loans should be forgiven. I don't believe in any of that. So if you saying when it comes to just Black people, no, that is the thing that's at the forefront of the conversation today. Is it just so happen to be reparations as it relates to Black people advocating for it? I'm not for reparations for anybody, including Black people. So I don't separate it, right? And more importantly, you shouldn't get anything because you didn't go through it. Nobody here alive today actually experienced any kind of slavery or racism. If you was gonna get it, you should have already got it.
We're still modern.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. And again, this is just what I stand on, and I'm okay with people having a different opinion, which is one of the reasons why I allow for people to come up here and say what they want to say, as long as they ain't getting stuff flagged, right? My biggest thing is I'm a king. I don't beg anybody for anything. I'm not beg. Listen, the amount of time that I can spend going over there and begging them for them to forgive my student loans, or for them to give me something based off of what it is that I think that my ancestors went through, God has already given me all that I need in order to be successful. I don't need nothing from nobody. I'm gonna earn everything that I get. So while you over there begging, I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna be over here getting it. And so that's just how I move. I got a different mentality. I don't believe in nobody giving me nothing. I don't need nobody to give me nothing. I don't even want a woman to give me no pussy. I want her to want. She gonna have to understand that she's the one that benefit from me having sex with her.
But Anton, you have to understand that in every community, there are people that are the exception. Majority of people are not like you. Majority of people are not carrying the same mindset as you. In every community, in every community who got reparations, they have exceptional people like you who think like you also. But they want a standard set for themselves so that they will not continue. If
Losers don't get to tell winners what to do.
Yes, but if you continue to excuse. If you continue to give them an excuse to pass you by, the Indians did not stop working.
Who passed me by?
No, the way you say it is like you are not in support, right? But that's your opinion. In my opinion, I'm not getting any reparations. I'm African, so and the way I see it, I feel like there should be a standard, even if everybody is not in agreement. Everyone got reparations.
I don't care what happened before me. Let me tell you something.
In terms of being
how I was
fair,
raised. Let me tell you.
So he won the 7th place prize.
Let me tell you how I see it. I don't believe in fairness.
I don't either.
The only thing I don't believe that listen, we all born different heights. We born different hues. We born with different dick sizes. It's not fair that my dick is probably one of the biggest dicks on the planet. No. Listen. God made us different for a reason. There is no such thing as fair. So this is my thing, right? This is the biggest thing. I'm not worried about what somebody else is doing. I'm not worried about whether or not they was ahead when they started. I look at the fact that I was born in the space that I was born in as an advantage for you because it made you comfortable and it made me a monster, right? It made me fierce. I don't care about what people think is fair. The only thing the way I was raised in my household, it was 4 boys, right? And we all had different days in which we were supposed to, do certain chores. Let's just say the dishes, for example, right? Or clean up the kitchen. And then on Wednesday, it wasn't nobody over, but on Friday, it was gonna be a party. Now, if we would have went to my mom and said, "Yo, but it wasn't even no dishes, and his day was Wednesday, and I got to do all of the fucking dishes, and it's on Friday," she would slap us in the fucking mouth and say, "Why you paying attention to what he got going on? Focus on what you got going on."
100.
Yeah, that dude is different.
Listen. It may be a flaw based off of how you see things. But I was never taught that life was supposed to be fair. I was taught to play the cards that you dealt. I'm not begging nobody for anything. I'm not waiting on nobody to give me anything. I'm going to get my shit.
And to piggyback off what Anton said, reparations that Germany paid to Jewish people, if you remember, Germany lost. So they were forced to pay reparations. The reason why they paid reparations is because they were forced to do so because they lost. Winners don't really pay reparations. Or you can
listen. I don't even care who won or who lost. I don't believe in reparations. I don't believe in giving losers payment for losing.
So that's what I'm saying, Anton. They didn't. So when they paid the money to the Jewish community, Germany, they didn't do it because they was like, "Oh, we feel bad." They did it because the United States said, "We mashed on y'all. Y'all about to give all of these resources and help us build the Jewish state of Israel." And so
here's the biggest thing. A lot of people say, "Anton, why do you care about whether people get reparations or not?" Because the same reason why I had the conversation in the very beginning is that every single thing that happens to other people also affects me. Right? I want my country to be great.
Yep.
I don't want inflation to continue to go high. I don't want them to continue to raise taxes on rich people so that they can give it to the rest of everybody else. Everything that happens, it literally is a trickle down effect, or it's a wave that then eventually hits everybody in one way, shape, or form. That's like saying, why do you care about whether or not people is gay? What do you mean? Why do I care? Because this is the culture in which I live in. I have to subject myself to the things that I see on a daily basis. I can't even ride by a fucking church without seeing a rainbow in front of it anymore. That's not a reflection of what I was raised to believe. I shouldn't have to always accept what it is that you feel just because you feel it. Now, we may have a difference of opinion, and I'm going to respect you as a man for having your opinion. But that don't mean that I have to accept what it is that you believe or think. I don't at all, not even a little bit. And we can agree to disagree. And it might be some other stuff that we talk about that I actually align with you on, but I don't believe in that. I'm not going to completely bankrupt my country in order to give you some shit that you don't deserve in the first place. Fuck you.
And you're not going to be fiscally.
Mastermind, quick question. Can you hear me, Mastermind?
Yes, I can hear you.
Why do you want reparations in the first place?
Well, he don't want them because he's saying that he's not getting them. He just believes that.
Okay. One thing I've noticed.
I mean, we are.
Hey, Anton, can y'all hear me?
My own money. I don't want what the government gonna give me. I don't want nothing from the government. I'm a grown man. I make my own money, live a good life. My ancestors went through stuff that I didn't go through, so I don't deserve nothing. And like Anton said, you gonna put the country in a worse place with money and inflation. So get off this reparation stuff. People get out there and get a job and work.
No, I think that they can keep. I think that listen. I think that they can keep. I think that they should keep begging and fighting.
I'm not.
They gonna still
check
be
this
on
out.
that Democrat side on the left.
Hey, Anton.
They give them a little bit of money.
Hey, Anton.
One mic, y'all. Go ahead.
Hey, Anton. I just wanted to also wanted to let him know that one of the main reasons why we're not going to be paid attention for that type of stuff is because we really don't have any political capital to make any type of demands. Most of the time in the black community, the woman runs the vote. Usually she votes Democrat. They don't have to do anything to make them vote Democrat. And then when the black men vote Republican, because I am a conservative, because I like to keep my $130,000 in my freaking pocket, and I don't want to give it to you or you. You know what I mean? So that's 100. So this is what you should do, man. Look, tell the FBA to get them a nice, strong political platform going. Make all these people get on the same page, and then y'all can make whatever demands y'all want to, because that's who they're gonna listen to, the voting bloc. They don't give a shit about what you want. They don't give a shit about what you want, bro. And really, to tell you the truth, I don't give a shit about what you want. And that's 100. But you know what?
I'm gonna read super chat shortly, but you know, I'm just honestly.
Hey, Soul is not playing with nobody.
You already changed my mind a while ago when you said they don't give reparations to the losers. So you convinced me at that point. So I'm already convinced.
No. I'm just curious. And at what point in history did the losers get a say so on what the winners did?
No point.
I'm just curious.
Outside of
because everybody keep talking about what's fair. When did we start going by? If you look at historically, even if you go back to the biblical days, was it fair that when you know a specific tribe would lose or they would get wiped out, that their kids and their wives would get raped as a result of it? What is fair?
Man, you know that.
No, I mean, let's be clear. At that time, they were the spoils of war.
Exactly.
Is it fair that Africans actually participated in the slave trade? They just got the bad end of the deal when they started trading with Europeans in order to get these people over here for free labor?
You wrong for that.
No, hold on. Was it fair that black people were also slave owners over here in the United States of America?
You wrrong for that.
No, I'm just asking a question. Let's deep dive into it. Is it fair that what was happening in Africa to warring tribes was 10 times worse than the atrocities of what was happening here in the United States of America? The only difference is that it was white people instituting it to it. And when they didn't want to fight these warring tribes over again, they decided to monetize it and sell them over here in order to get them over here to the United States of America.
What about what Duke Leopold did? What about Leopold? Remember Leopold?
Hold on. Let's deep dive. Let's really deep dive into it. Should we also require reparations from Africa?
Hey, that's goddamn low.
We don't have money.
That's a low.
Yo, what the fuck about Leopold? What about Leopold? The man just asked you to look in the fucking mirror instead of looking through the window. What the fuck about Leopold? Man is asking you about what black people did to other black people.
Hold on. What is all of these social programs that we got right now?
Content.
No, I'm saying all of the literal billions of dollars that we take from our checks in order to give to people that don't give a fuck about where it is that it's coming from. What is that supposed to be? Is that a form of reparations too?
That's what I thought. I thought COVID-19 was a form of reparations.
Yeah, you're damn right. Like, are you for real? Was that a real question?
I thought COVID-19 was a form of reparations.
Was
they
that
got
a real
over
question?
$5,000 or $6,000.
I'm just honestly trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
I'm sorry, 187. What did you say? You said about Leopold?
I said, somebody asked, what about Leopold and all the African people that he killed? Who gives a fuck about? That's not what the man asked.
Listen,
no, he killed 6 million people, bro. I'm just saying.
Hold on, chopping off hands of kids. He was chopping off hands of kids when the dad didn't.
Documentary, you can see the atrocities that he implemented on those people. Like,
yeah, that's all I'm saying, bro.
He cut off their arms.
Okay.
All
right
that.
there.
And
yo,
then,
but why does
not
there?
only did he do that, he
There you go.
monetized what was happening. Yo,
man, you got to read about that dude, bro.
Listen. Do you know where the whole rubber industry, how much they monetize the rubber industry over there?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do y'all want from them?
Nothing.
What do y'all want from them?
Nothing.
Nah,
I ain't
you
asking for
drunk.
nothing.
You drunk. So give me
No,
a second.
Hey, we having an intelligent conversation. Like nothing.
Go get sober, dog.
You want some?
Hey, 187, man. I wasn't trying to poke nothing, bro. I was just saying that, you know what, there's atrocities everywhere. That's all I was saying. Atrocities all the time.
I just hate when people conflate fucking issues, man. Because the man was talking about, black people warring with tribes, and I never thought about it from that perspective. That really just opened the door to me. But black people warring with other tribes, and instead of warring with them, they can just go, hey, just start catching them and sell them and make a profit. That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
People that look like you. And then when we're having a conversation about that, somebody jumps in. Oh, what about this white guy who doesn't look like us but did something similar? What?
No, it's just atrocity, bro. Look, I was commenting about look, we were talking about atrocity in particular, and Anton got specific about everybody is a victim at one point in time. And the winner always wins. So I was bringing up another atrocity. No, because people. That's it.
Yeah. I see people in the chat saying a couple thousand. They gave you a couple thousand during the pandemic, and y'all fucked it off. I seen y'all lined up outside of Gucci. No, let's be real. Listen. I'm gonna be 100%
I
honest
saved
with y'all.
my money.
No,
I
let me
paid
be
me some
100% honest with
bills.
y'all.
I did
never
what I
got
was
a
supposed to
stimulus
do.
check. I never got a stimulus check.
I don't know what they did with their check. When I got my check, I did what I was supposed to do. I paid some bills around this motherfucker.
I never got one either. Never got one either. Not one.
But you know what? I didn't want one. And they gave y'all all stimulus checks during the pandemic, and I seen everybody lined up outside of Gucci and Louis Vuitton.
That's a low blow.
Getting Birkin bags.
What kind of low blow?
Can't afford
that. No, they didn't get no Birkin bag. They could not afford no Birkin bag. Stop.
Louis Vuitton bag, but
no, okay, well, Birkin wallet.
Say, man, that man tripping, man. Ooh,
I don't know. I'm just not. I don't understand, man. It's.
Hey, but everybody money different.
All right, watch this. Hey, no play. Let's say you got $1 million. What would you do with it?
Save it.
You save. How would you save it?
I would save it. I would take care of the necessities. My wants, they have to wait.
Like what? Tell me how you spend it. Tell me how you save it. Tell me where you gonna put it at.
I just told you. I would save my money.
You would just put it all in the bank? You would put $1 million in the bank?
Nah, hell nah.
What would you
Hell
do?
nah, for what?
So what would you do? Break it down for me.
I
Saving
would
money ain't
save
gonna
my.
make you
See, you
money.
know what I'm saying? No play hit different. I got grandkids coming up.
Okay. Prince Amir, if you got $1 million, what would you do with it?
Honestly, I'll take 100,000 and
Mhm.
ball out. Just to get
What
that
would you
off my
buy?
chest.
No, let's be specific. Let's be very specific. You take
I'ma
100,000 and you spend it on what?
You give me 100,000, I'm gonna buy one of the least expensive Rolexes you could buy.
Oh,
okay. So you're gonna get a professional. You're gonna spend about 10,000 on a Rolex.
I'm gonna get a Rolex.
Mhm.
Not really.
No, you know. Everybody quiet. I want to hear his answer. He got his own answer.
I'm gonna pay off all my debt.
How much? How much would that be? Let's be specific, y'all.
If I include the student loans, it's gonna be about 67 bands.
Okay, so 60. Okay, so you at 80. Well, what the tax with the watch?
He said 60.
You at about 80,000 right now. All right, cool.
Right. So I got 20 G's.
Well, that
left.
the 67 ain't got nothing to do with blowing it.
No, I'm increasing my net worth.
Okay, well, tell me how you gonna increase your net worth.
The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the 900,000. No, I'm sorry, the 900,000.
You got 920 left.
I got 920 left. The 20
so you
is
got a Rolex and you paid off your student loans. Okay.
All my debt, not just student loans. I done
Okay,
paid off my
you
whip.
paid off all your debt.
I done
So you
paid
debt
off
free.
any
You got
credit card
920.
debt. I got 20 left. I'm gonna take the 900,000. I'm gonna buy some real estate, and I'm gonna put the rest in the stock market.
Where? What you gonna buy in real? What type of real estate you gonna buy? Tell me what you gonna do and where you gonna buy that.
It depends because the market is so bad.
Hold on, y'all.
I would want to find a fixer upper in a decent county, right?
Where?
Something that's growing.
I live in Michigan right now. Our market is terrible right now.
No, it ain't. It's phenomenal.
Well, it's getting ready to be phenomenal.
No, it already is. Trust me.
All right, what county? What counties?
No, you tell me. This is your money.
All right,
I'm not gonna tell you where to invest. I'm trying to figure out where you're gonna invest.
All right, so Macomb County and Oakland County is where I would buy.
So what are you buying though? What specific type of real estate are you buying?
Residential.
Commercial, residential.
No, residential. I wouldn't touch.
Okay, so you're going residential, and then what? How many? What's the budget like for a specific property?
250 per property is as high as.
So how many properties you gonna buy?
2.
So you're gonna spend $500,000 on property, and then what you gonna do with it? So you buying fixer uppers? That's what you said, right?
Right.
Okay.
I said the maximum I spend total is 250.
Okay, so you're gonna buy a fixer upper for cheaper than that, and then you're gonna go up to the 250 to fix it up.
Correct.
And then do what with it?
Get some tenants in that bad boy.
So you're gonna get some tenants, and then what you expect to make from that on a monthly basis?
Probably about between both properties, somewhere between $2,500 to $3,500 a month.
Okay, so you plan on getting, let's just round it off. Let's say 3,000. So you getting $3,000 a month off the properties, and you got $250,000, $260,000 left. What you gonna do with it?
That goes into my brokerage account.
Okay, so what you gonna buy in your brokerage account?
I'm gonna increase my positions on stocks that I'm already invested in.
What's that? Tell me what stocks you like.
Apple, Meta,
and what else?
Microsoft, Nvidia, Ford, Rivian.
Ford and Rivian. Why Ford?
Because of their aggressive pursuit of EV vehicles. Okay. They putting a lot of money in it, and they losing money.
So you gonna put and you still gonna work your regular job?
I'm still gonna work 3 jobs.
Okay, cool. So now you have a residual income you have passive income of $3,000 a month. What you gonna do with the $3,000?
Reinvest it.
And what?
My brokerage account. Put it into a savings account so I can buy another property and just build it up. or reinvest it in the property.
Do everybody on the panel agree with this?
I'ma
you can get
told
an
you, I'ma save
SP500
my
to make this
money.
one.
I ain't spending nothing.
Because I
If
don't
you save
need the
your money,
3,000.
it's gonna
I don't
be
need the
worthless.
3,000 because
Save.
I'm still working. I'm still
No.
still
I
building my money up.
got you, Prince
Yeah.
Amir. I got you. Does everybody else outside of No Play agree with his strategy of using his $1 million?
Everything's on sale right now, so you probably want to
I
get some
don't.
commercial shit and then
I don't agree.
funds, you know.
Who don't agree?
I don't.
Okay, cousin
I don't
Joey,
agree.
what do you think should happen?
Actually, the way the housing market is moving and the way we got businesses coming in from Germany and Japan, especially here in Ohio and in Michigan, I would go all the way in regular housing and commercial properties. That whole
You would buy
1 million.
how much would you allocate for commercial and how much would you allocate towards residential?
400,000 for residential, 600,000 for commercial.
Now,
but you gotta leave. You would leave some money though, because
how would you use the commercial property?
The commercial properties, I would probably start off using those as storage facilities that are going to be needed for all of the extra equipment that's going to be brought in for Aerotech, Intel, Battelle, the city of Columbus. So that right there, the average commercial property here, if you got something like 10, 100 by 100 foot storage facilities is about $10,000 a month. And
so you would invest yours in storage facilities? 600. You said 600,000 in storage facilities and 400,000 in residential.
Yeah.
How many properties in residential would you get, and where would you buy them at?
Let me see. Well, Aerotech and Intel is going to be right up the street from the plant that I work in right now. So that's what is that place called? Grove City.
Okay.
And the properties there are average. You can get a single family home for about $185,000, and that would be a fixer upper.
You would be how much would you allocate to fix it up?
I would have to allocate probably about 10 grand.
Just to
so
fix
I'll be able to get about 3 properties.
You sure that's enough?
Oh yeah, I know it's enough. They actually keep up their properties. But what you want to do is you want to improve it to the point where it's attractive to the person that's going to be buying it.
Oh, so you're gonna flip? You're gonna be a flipper?
No, I'm not going to flip. I'm not selling it.
Well, you said that was going to be attractive to the person that was buying it.
Excuse me, attractive to the person that's going to be renting it.
Okay.
And the average rent here in Ohio, just in the Franklin County area, is about $1,500. In Grove City, it's about $2,600 a month.
Give me 1 second. Hey, Buddha, give me a peace sign. Buddha in the back. Give me a peace. All right. What's going on, Buddha?
Man, what's happening, brother? How you doing, man?
Chilling. Just trying to grill these guys to help so they can help me to understand how it is that they're gonna allocate all of this money that they're gonna get.
Yeah, I've been listening. You know,
What you think about this?
Well, it's always good to take notes, as I would, because I don't know who have valuable advice at this point or that I could use. But what I really think about it though, it's so much that we can do with $1 million. Even though nowadays $1 million is really not a lot of money, you know, due to inflation and everything else. But it depends on where the growth value within is at, you know, at the same time though. What I would do with $1 million, you know, I have different perspectives and it depends on my situation at that time as well. But what narrative you wanted me to paint with that though, you know?
I'm just trying to understand how y'all gonna use y'all. Listen. I honestly believe that 90% of the people on this panel is gonna spend it. Y'all gonna spend half right off the bat.
All in on Bitcoin or what?
No, this
y'all gonna
I'm gonna give you three things you need to do.
Y'all gonna get a new taste for steak. New taste for steak and seafood restaurants. Y'all gonna go ahead. Go ahead, Bato.
I'm gonna give you three things that you need to do.
Okay, help me.
You need to get you a lawyer. You need to get you a financial advisor and a financial planner.
A financial advisor,
And
a
don't
lawyer,
go
and
out
a
spending your
financial
money
planner.
doing things that you have no business doing. The million you got is gonna probably get down to 700,000 because the government's gonna take 30 or more percentage
No,
of it.
let's assume
So
that
you
you
need to
got a
get with you
million,
somebody to
right?
help
You got
you.
$1 million and ain't no taxes, nothing. You just get $1 million flat.
Lawyer, financial planner, financial advisor to get you on your way, or a living will, and set up. Something happened to you, set that up for your family. But you got to get these things in order. You just can't have $1 million and go out there and start spending. You have to have some kind of strategic way of how to make money without losing
So
money.
y'all teach. I need y'all
And
to
with
teach me
people,
how to make
lawyer,
money.
the
Then
financial planner and advisor on your team, you're gonna be out
so
there
teach
frivolous. You
me.
need somebody to
I
help
need
you
somebody
make
to
money.
teach me how to
Hey,
turn $1 million into $2 million.
But the white though, we are grown men.
Hey,
We should already have
G in
our
the
stuff
back.
in order.
G in the
We
back.
should
Give me
already have
peace
lawyers.
sign.
We should have wills and life insurance. Our estate should be straight already. We grown men.
A lot of people don't have that.
Guillermo.
A lot of people don't have that.
They need to do that before they get the money.
Yeah.
They need to get that.
A lot of
now.
people ain't that smart though.
Yeah.
What's up, big dog? How you feel?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Chilling,
check
chilling.
this
What's your
out though,
thought?
for real.
So I got a thing what you can possibly do with like $1 million.
What's that?
Let's see. Let's hear it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hold on.
Connected?
Let me
Where'd it
see
go?
something. Say what?
Yeah, so I think I heard this from 50 Cent. The best thing you do with $1 million is go to a bank and ask for another loan for $1 million. So now you have $2 million.
Yeah, I heard him say that. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
What about the life insurance? Is that
Some
bullshit too? The
It's
life
bullshit.
insurance?
So basically, what Fifth is gonna pitch you is he gonna say the best. Well, the question that they asked, the question that Fifth was saying is how do you turn $1 million into $2 million? And what Fifth was saying is you take $1 million, you put it in the bank. They're going to be so enamored with the fact that you have $1 million to be able to put in the bank that you then are going to ask them in order to give you a loan for another $1 million, which then would give you $2 million to be able to spend. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's bullshit. All right. Number
you can't
one.
use that $1 million for collateral for something else, like for.
Okay,
for
so what? Okay, so now you. So
I'm
now you
just
have
asking questions. I don't know.
You got No, it's cool. So now you got $1 million, in cash, and you got $1 million in credit. How you gonna use it? What's the interest rate?
7%, 6%.
Depends what they give you.
What's
It
okay?
don't
What
kill-
kind of
it don't kill
loan
the
is
boy.
it? What kind of loan is it, and what's the interest rate?
The interest rate don't
Because
eat 'em up.
remember, just because you have access to an additional $1 million doesn't mean that you don't have to pay it back.
True.
So what's the interest rate? Because the interest rate is largely going to be determined by what it is that
check
you
this
either
out,
use as
Anton.
collateral or what type of loan it is. What type of loan is it?
I mean, just regular loan. You can say 6%. Just, I mean, I
Where
don't
did you
know.
get that interest rate from?
6%.
I mean, if you want to do just mortgages, what 6% right now.
Well, that's well, okay.
I mean, you can take different loans out, right? So that's where I'm going at about it, right? You
But
don't
why
have,
would you take? Well, why would you put yourself in debt when you don't even have anything to use it for?
I mean, shouldn't you
Because
find?
okay, do y'all understand how banks work?
Yeah.
Okay, how does banks work?
I mean, they loan out your money to charge you an interest rate, and then depending on what kind of asset you buy,
Do you know how they get their money to be able to loan it to you?
They buy bonds, right? Or they have other investors that give them money.
Do you know why banks incentivize you to deposit? Like they want to get more deposits inside of the bank?
They sell the notes, right?
Well, okay, so this is kind of how banks work in a general sense. I'm gonna break it all the way down to a D student's perspective. All right. Banks basically work like this. The amount that they have in deposits is then substantiated in order to allow for them to basically be able to take money or borrow against that at roughly about 10 times, right? And banks fail all the time, which means that their inability to even be able to manage money effectively can show you that us on an individual basis need to be a little bit more careful, right? But essentially what they do is they take a multiple of that deposit and then they're able to loan it back out to you
right? Or make strategic investments in order to make a return on their investment. So essentially, when you see them say, well, we have a high yield savings account, right? What they're basically doing is trying to get you to put more money into the bank so that they can loan more money out. The more money that they loan out, the more they're making fees, the more they're making interest. So when you get a 30-year mortgage, for example, and you first start paying on that mortgage, minimal amount goes against the principal, right? So a little bit of goes against the principal if you buy a car. Little minimal amount goes against the principal, and then the rest of it goes in interest. Interest is basically free money for the bank for servicing a loan. Now, one of the reasons that they feel comfortable in loaning you out that money is because they then have collateral against it, because they're basically saying, we own your home until you pay it off. So at any point, they can come and take your home and foreclose against it in order to protect themselves against giving you this amount of money and loaning it out in the first place. So banks essentially try to protect themselves by then substantiating whether or not you have the credit history, basically proving to them that you're going to be able to pay it back, and then B,
all off your ledger,
collateral in order to make sure that they can give you money to then essentially make you feel like you're a homeowner, so that they can get the fees and the interest that comes along with it, right? And so that's how banks make money. And then they even if you look at a big deal, let's say Twitter, right? Elon Musk didn't put up all his own money for Twitter. He put up a fraction of the money, and then he basically borrowed the money from banks. Now, could a bank or one or two banks then say, okay, we want to go all in on this deal with you, Elon Musk? They usually don't. Whenever it's a big deal in place, what happens is they spread out the risk. So you'll see multiple different banks working with each other in order to fully finance or loan out money, but they feel comfortable because then they're leveraging Elon Musk's assets in order to substantiate whether or not he'd be able to actually make the payments on the loan. So essentially what y'all talking about is the banks feel comfortable lending out money because they then make money in return. But then you have to ask yourself this question: who's going to be the person that's catching all of the strays as a result of the money that's being lended out? You. Right? You.
The ability to perform, right?
Because you then have to pay the interest on whatever money that you pull out in order to. This is why I don't advocate for people to borrow money, right? Don't borrow money for a small business. Don't do that. What I say is put your own money up, be a little bit more disciplined with your lifestyle, put your own money up. And then if you need money in order to expand rapidly based off of the results that you're getting from the business. So let's say, for example, you're doing really well in this particular business, but you need to expand because you need more trucks, or you want to be able to finish a project quicker so that you can then get the property sold, because maybe you're flipping that property and the value of that property is going to be $150,000 more than what it is it costs you to build it, right? So you need an additional amount of money. Let's say you got a HELOC. A HELOC is a home equity loan of credit, or a home equity line of credit. And what a HELOC allows for you to do is pull the equity out of your home as a loan. It's kind of like a credit card for your loan, right? It's like you loaning yourself money using your own home as a collateral, or the equity that you have in another home as collateral, in order to hurry up and finish that project so that you can then make $150,000 in profit once you sell it. So you have to actually have a way in which you're already making money to then be able to tap into additional credit to build up or to more quickly or
and it ain't even no guarantee that them rates will be fixed.
Project, right? Some people will take a hard money loan out. Hard money loans are a lot more in interest than a regular mortgage, right?
Pay quicker too.
Okay, let me break it down like this. I don't even really want to talk about what I talk about in the Patreon. All right.
So no. You good? That's straight. You talking all the game, but you good?
I'm using my own money to build my first property, right? One of the reasons that I'm doing it is because I don't have to deal with the banks. The banks then allow you to have to go through a lot of red tape. And even my general contractor said, I don't want to have to deal with the banks. If we could just fund it ourselves, that would be absolutely awesome. So I'll put all of the money up and we're going to get the project done because we can get it done quicker and then be able to flip the money more effectively, right? The reason I don't want to deal with the banks is because it slows down the money, because time is money. And then B, I'd have to actually pay interest on the money and the fees that's associated with it, right? Everything I do is to keep all of the money in. The least I can involve the bank, the more money I make. So you have to be very careful when you're
real.
talking about how it is that you're gonna flip money or listening to these rappers or whatever like that, because they don't understand how money works, right? They know how to earn, they know how to make a lot of money, they know how to hustle, but understanding how money works is much different, and the context matters based off of what it is that he's communicating. 50 asked the question based off of how can you double that money real quickly. He's talking about it from a hustler's perspective. He's not talking about it from a business perspective as it relates to how it is that you're able to understand how money works, the interest rates, the fact that you got to pay that back, what kind of collateral you're going to put up. That determines what it is that your interest rate is going to be. How quickly can you pay that back? What are you going to use it for? Right? If you just go in there and you say, hey, I just want a loan, they're going to say, okay, for what? What you want a loan for?
Got you. No, that makes sense. The way you broke it down.
You want a loan for? Because they're not just gonna give you money just for the sake of giving you money. They want to know what you using my money for when you got $1 million here in the bank.
Hey, Anton. Hey, check this out. I'm gonna break down what I do with $1 million, but I also want to spread some game too. Last time me and you chopped it up. If anybody was listening, if anybody was listening last time me and you had a conversation, then they would have benefited. You know what I'm saying? But what I do with my $1 million, I'll take 300,000 of it, put it in a Roth IRA.
Well, you know that if you put it in there, then you can't touch it until you retire, right?
Well, you can always borrow. Well, you can always borrow from your Roth IRA though. You can always borrow from that money though, if you need to.
Okay, well, you can't put it in a Roth IRA like that because there's limits to how much you can put in a Roth IRA.
True.
The Roth IRA is based off of income level A, right? Meaning that you have to be under a certain threshold of money in order to be able to put a certain amount of money in there. And even if you do, you can only put $6,000 up to $6,000 a year. So you can't just take 300,000 and say I'm about to put it in a Roth IRA.
True. Okay. So I already put
and
my
let me be clear before we continue this conversation, y'all.
Okay.
I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just telling you what it is that I've experienced in my
own
life,
it is.
right?
Yeah.
Hey,
just what
Wall,
it is.
give me a peace sign, bro. Oh, he not there. But go.
Hey, before y'all start, hey, Anton, love being on the panel, man. Gotta go. I gotta get back to work, bro.
All right, my friend.
Yes, sir.
But go ahead. All right. Well, check this out though. But I advise people to get a Roth IRA, if anything. But
hey, Wall,
overall, what I do, I take 300,000. I'll go ahead and up my positions in the stock market. You know, you can't never lose. You can file it on your taxes if you need to.
Oh, you can lose. You can lose.
I mean, no, you can lose. Yeah, you can lose.
You can lose.
Yes, you can lose, but you know, anytime I lost, I found it on my taxes.
Okay.
Anytime I ever lost.
Well, what you got? Chicken, goats, horses, cows, what?
Man, I do all kind of stuff, man.
Listen.
I could turn $1 million to $2 million.
Okay.
What do you got?
Well, you gonna have to save me because I was about to end
All
the stream.
Check it out. This is what I would do.
I was about to end the stream, but you can save me. Go ahead.
All right. I would take that $1 million. I would put it in the bank. Once I put that $1 million in the bank, I will borrow $1 million from the bank. I wouldn't use my money. I wouldn't use my money.
This is the same pitch that 50 Cent made?
I would use their money.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Once I get their money, I would establish a not a will, but what is it? When you put your businesses under a
trust?
Yeah, a trust. I would establish a trust.
Why are you establishing a trust?
I would establish a trust because I would start buying properties. My properties, I would have them under that trust.
Mm-hmm.
And the properties that I would buy, I'm here in Memphis. So I would buy single family homes and condos in the downtown area because that's a hot area here. I would rent those out. I would rent them out and or Airbnb them out. Because $1 million in cash in the bank is not really helping me. I think $1 million worth of assets would be way more valuable to me than $1 million just sitting in the bank in a savings account.
Let me ask you a question. What is the whole point of putting it in the bank and then using their money?
I was just you said turn $1 million to $2 million. So hey, I got $1 million in the bank. I borrowed $1 million. That's $2 million.
How can you?
No,
yes,
no,
but
no,
how
you
can you flip
didn't.
it? Well, this is the thing that I want y'all to understand. Listen, y'all. Listen. The biggest thing that I need y'all to understand is that $1 million
Doesn't go that much.
It's not even worth the paper that it's printed on.
All right.
I need y'all to understand that. Meaning that the thing that you need to lean into is assets. The way that people then substantiate how much money that they have is not based off of what they got in the bank, is based off of what their net worth is. Your net worth is largely made up of the assets that you have, both appreciating and depreciating. What do I mean by appreciating and depreciating? Appreciating meaning that assets that continue to grow in value over time. Depreciating meaning that assets that continue to go down over time. It's still all assets. If you buy a car and it loses its value the minute that you drive it off the lot, it's still an asset because it's worth something, right? Everything that you have is an asset. So if you add up how much you have and then you take away how much debt that you have, that's how much your net worth is. So for example, if you own a home, the home is worth $300,000 and you owe $200 on it, that means that your net worth is $100,000.
$100,000, yeah.
Right? So when you guys are talking, don't worry about the cash. Cash is just a tool.
Well, I'll just turn the cash into assets then. If that's the case, I'll
hear what I'm saying. Hear what I'm saying. I'm teaching y'all how to think differently about money. Money don't mean nothing. It's just a tool. That's it. And if you have to learn how to utilize the tool effectively in order to be able to grow your assets, right? It's not about hustling. It's not about flipping. It's not about anything. It's really a trick question that I asked y'all. What it's really about is thinking about money like a tool and not valuing it in the same way that we used to value it. Because if you start valuing it as though it means something, then you won't actually look to make the right investments that then long term give you the biggest return on your money, right?
Okay.
So when you think about real estate, don't think about it from the perspective of residual income. Think about it from the perspective of I'm getting rid of the money so that I don't have to pay the taxes on it. From a business perspective, the more money I get rid of, the less I have to give to the federal government. But then at the same time, I want to put it in something that's then going to increase in value and be able to continue to add money into, add more employees. Every dollar that you have as an employee, you want that to go and bring you more employees so that you can then buy more assets. That's the only thing.
So that's what you do with your money?
Gotcha.
That's the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters is throwing your money into the things that actually appreciate over time and reducing the amount of money that you're going to pay in taxes. It's the only thing that matters. Everything else that they taught you in school, everything that these rappers are saying, all of the chains, all of that shit is bullshit. Every single thing that they teaching you outside of that. If you just leapfrog off of the fundamental thing, taxes, assets. Just if you don't remember anything else that was said in this conversation, the only thing that matters, reducing your taxes, and increasing your assets.
Gotcha.
Reducing your and let me tell you where debt comes in, and I'm gonna leave it at this. When you have debt, you then have to use the money that you make on your regular job in order to pay taxes so that you can then pay off your debt.
Okay.
Because if you have debt, then that means that the money that you make from your job, you can't throw it into your assets. You gotta give it into servicing the debt. And you gotta pay taxes on that money. But when I don't have debt, that means that I don't have nothing but wings. All I have to do is continue to throw the money into things that actually make sense because I don't have to pay taxes on things in order to be able to service the debt. It's like you being double taxed when you have debt.
So you're a Dave Ramsey person instead of. So you're a Dave Ramsey person instead of Robert Kawasaki. You wouldn't.
They all have great lessons. You just have to be able to mine through how it applies to your life.
Find your avatar.
Different books, different people have different lessons that apply to your life depending on where you at in your life. So, for example, if you take a Dave Ramsey is phenomenal for a person that is in debt
because he's trying to teach you how to remove putting yourself in a position to have to give the majority of your money to the federal government or to service these loans, because then you got to pay the taxes, right? Let's say you make $100,000 a year after taxes, you then have to pay you get $67,000, $67,000 to $70,000, right? If you sitting on that $30,000 that you're basically giving away in taxes, right? Now you in a 22% tax bracket. What if you can reduce that down into being into under $80,000 and you can be in a 12% tax bracket? You literally just made yourself some money by then reducing the taxes, by being able to get rid of the money into things that actually continue to increase over time. If I can invest that in the business, if I could put that in my 401k, right, then that means that I go from a 22% tax bracket to a 12% tax bracket just based off of the fact that I understand that I don't have to spend everything that I make on debt. I don't have to make sure that I substantiate my lifestyle. So now I can throw that money into something that appreciates, and instead of giving it to the bank because I'm servicing the interest on a loan, and then I already reduce my tax bracket as a result of it.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? So when you start thinking about money differently, you start thinking about money differently. My goal at this point is to get rid of all of it. I'm just trying to get rid of all of the money that I can so that I don't have to pay as much money over into the federal government. Taxes, listen, the amount of taxes that you pay is a poor man's sport. That's for the middle class. The middle class is focused on trying to live the lifestyle. Rich people is focused on trying to get rid of the money. They know the lifestyle come with it. That's the game. That's literally the game. Taxes and assets. That's it. Everything else falls under that.
And then the nice stuff will come later, you know. But you just gotta play the game.
So if you don't remember anything that I said today, just remember taxes, and assets. That's it. Everything else is a facade. Everything else is for poor people.
Yeah, Matrix.
All right.
Hey, Anton, love and respect, bro. I'm gonna get out.
All right, my friends. I'm gonna talk to y'all later.
You good?
All right, let me I gotta read the super chats before we get up out of here because I gotta make sure that I take care of the people. Whew. I can have those type of conversations because hopefully we add value into people's life. Shout out to Derek T says, genuine question. Do you think this is similar to Black Lives Matter stuff being all over the fields, court, streets, etc.? I do think that it's an agenda going on out here in the streets, Derek T. Kingdom Minded says, Elemental P's walked hand in hand with civil rights leaders. They were given a green light behind closed doors to play their black hand like spades. I agree with you 100%. And make sure y'all tapping into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I'm not going to keep giving y'all all of the sauce on a basic level because we go into much more deeper things. I show y'all the receipts. I show y'all how to be able to build y'all businesses. I show y'all what it is that I do in order to make between $500,000 and $1 million a year passively just based off of servicing people. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of game inside of the Patreon that y'all need to tap into. So if y'all not a part of the Patreon and y'all not linking up and y'all not connecting with me on my when I go to these different cities and joining the Discord and all of that, you're really missing out in real life. Shout out to Kingdom Minded. Vince Geralds says America is a gynocentric circus. Time to leave. AWOL in the building says these people know what they are doing from birth to age 8, are the most impressionable. Shout out to AWOL in the building. I appreciate you. Service USA says too bad I can't cam up with y'all. I'm driving. Get that money, big dog. Dalen Robinson says a zesty drunk Mexicano is your core audience. That is also a setup for a great joke. Shout out to Dylan. Mr. Sukuyomi said, yes, sir. Keep giving these people the hard pill they refuse to swallow. Pause. And let them keep complaining while hard workers snatch that from up under them. Much love, big dog. Much love to you. From the floor up under them. Oh, he corrected that. I got you. Aaron says, also don't forget the U.S. government gave reparations to Confederate states and slave owners. Also, Haiti pay France reparations. And you see how much of a shithole Haiti is right now. They are literally
one of the worst nations to go to and visit right now. Blaze Skywalker says, I deserve reparations. I have to disagree with all y'all. Well, we can agree to disagree. All these ninjas with hard ER over one another is cringe. Quentin is a hater, y'all. Don't listen to Quentin. Greatness to Work says, we still pay Israel and the Jays out of our taxes every year. We want our reparations. And yes, I'm still getting my bag. But they still owe us that check. Shout out Greatness to Work. Fair Walker says, I'm not arguing fair. I'll argue justice. Aaron says, yes, Africa got to pay too. Man, Africa ain't giving you nothing. They ain't even got nothing to give. They owe the Chinese. Jawan Hart says, life is not fair. Let's say there are two gazelles and one lion hunting them. One gazelle is complaining while being a gazelle, and the other is focused on outmaneuvering the lion. Which one is going to survive? Facts. I ain't going over there to Haiti. You can forget it, Black Beauty. You ain't never got to worry about me going over to Haiti. I am not Wyclef. Aaron says, all parties involved got to run me my check. Nope. Freedom says, if the B community was a person, it'll be no oh my Jesus, y'all are throwing shots. Aaron says, oh nah, not MD 2020 and the Christian Brothers brandy. He drinking that hard liquor. Lamar Black Attack says, no play can save a drink. How in the hell is he gonna save money? Listen, y'all saying what y'all saying. Tree House ENT DJ Vapors the GOAT Experience says, what do y'all consider a win? Was Obama a winner after his 8 years of service to the United States? The post is moving. The goalpost is moving just like y'all stands. Shout out to Treehouse. Ray Sean with the 20 ball says, the first thing I would do is pay off all my debt. The next thing I would do is contact Anton and pay for a priority meeting. I would ask to be advised on exactly how to optimize this opportunity. I think that's probably the best answer today. Shout out to my dog, Ray Sean in the building. Greatness to Work says, land, own as much of the earth as you can. Randy R says 50 Cent was talking about giving him giving you $1 million, but you had to pay it back if you didn't double it in a month. We have to pay attention to the context of the scenario. Yeah, I've seen that too. And that's why I was looking like, y'all probably shouldn't be taking advice based off of what it is that he's telling y'all right now. Greatness to Work says, buy land, buy wood, build or pay someone to build your house. Do that 10 times for your kids. Assets is worth more than money net worth. Treehouse ENT says, oh, hold on. Let me back up. I'm sorry. Jarrell Davis says, big dog, these money combos are informative and dope. Appreciate your gems. Hopefully there will be more of these. If this is what y'all want, if y'all enjoyed this live stream, hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. That'll let me know that y'all actually like what it is that we talked about today. And maybe we can have more of these panel conversations about money. This has been E&J Friday Finance with Anton Daniels. See y'all Monday. Shout out to Kikau. 85 is in the building. I appreciate you. Treehouse says, example, paintings are considered assets. They are considered assets. That is absolutely true. Brock says, man, tell them ninjas to join the Patreon. I pay for this kind of game and the more pass a love offering. Oh, y'all get way better game than this inside of the Patreon. We just gave them a little bit of sauce. We don't want to leave them out in the cold. We want them to actually be able to level up and do what it is that they do. Cliff says, I apologize if I was too overzealous. Don't worry about it, Cliff. You know you good in my book. You a bag chaser, big dog. We fixed that. NBA Hustler says, Anton, my man was talking super reckless. I couldn't hop on in my uniform. Your perspective makes too much sense. Damn the victim Olympics. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody that continue to hold us down. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having a absolutely phenomenal conversation. Make sure y'all tune in to Fight Club tonight. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Go and get your tickets to the Charleston White Show for June 9th here at the Garden Theater in Michigan. And then also on top of that, if you have not joined the Patreon, the link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.